Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Cannabis Couch on Chaotic Radio.
Welcome.
Today, we're going to have a really cool topic. We're going to be talking about some old school hash, not so much the BHO or, crumbles or the shatters or CO2 oil or anything like that, but actually like the old school stuff. And we're even going to get into the, the water extraction and dry ice extraction and stuff like that a little bit today as well. But we're still going to try and go even older school than that and go all the way back to something Danny Boom and I were just discussing right now before we got on was the old school like Moroccan hash.
Yeah, man. That shit's a trip.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So they used to make this stuff. Pretty much all of that stuff is made out of hermaphrodite plants because they're all wild out there. You know what I mean? They don't really control what's male and female to go out into a field of 4,000 wild plants and pull all the males. It isn't not really going to work out for you. Plus, the bud on the females isn't really that good. It's only really good for hash.
Right.
So that you know how they make it? They put in this big ass fucking a bag, in a sense, right? And they put a big bowl in there, and that bowl is surrounded by a big thing of silk screen, and it's tied together at the bottom or rubber band together, whatever, fastened together at the bottom. Let's give it that. And then they go ahead and they put the plant on top, and then they do something real interesting with it that I would never think to do. They beat the hell out of it with sticks.
Yeah, they pulverize it.
Yeah.
Pound it with sticks. Pound it. Same, like agitating it, but they just do it old school, caveman style.
Yeah, exactly, caveman style, just beating it like the old caveman. He beats your woman over the head and drag her back to the cave, right? Well, fuck, they're beating their butt over the head and pulling out the golden goodness.
Yeah, buddy.
And I would never have believed it until I saw it myself, because there are a few videos of it. I know that some people went over there back in the day in the 90s and made some videos and brought some back to different countries. But like I said, I would have never believed it unless I saw it. And I saw the whole video of them going out and harvesting it, bringing it back and putting it in the bag, and then the lady sitting there and beating the hell out of it. And then they take that powder. And what the coolest thing was is that they had these like little like bamboo or wooden, some were bamboo, some were wooden, but like presses. And so the powder that they were getting off was good enough. It was a high enough hash powder quality that it would pressing itself with just a little pressure, and the pressure.
A little heat would it stick to itself.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So that's what boggled my mind, was that they were actually had this down so much that not really any plant matter was making it through that silk screen, but it really was a whole lot of powder.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, when they showed this bowl, it was a lot of fucking powder. I mean, like, I've seen that much in my lifetime, but when I saw it, I was like, God damn, like, these fools been doing this for a long time. This is just one bowl. Yeah. There's like 6 or 7 ladies with bowls in here, and this is just this one lady going at it. Like,
smashing.
They're producing just tons of kilos out of there all the time, you know what I mean? I mean, like, what they showed, this one lady, what was in her bowl, produced 3 kilos that the guy took home. So, like, that's just ridiculous, you know what I mean? That was one day. And then, like, the room that they had was just huge, and it was full of drying stuff to, just have the lady sit there and beat on the whole time. And it was a really cool video to watch. I wish I would have remembered the name and everything. I actually tried to hit up my uncle who showed me the video, and he didn't even remember. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. But, it was really cool.
I wonder what the value is of Moroccan hash in Morocco, frankly.
I don't know. He bought it really cheap.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, he bought 3 fucking kilos, and I mean, that's got to be fairly cheap. You try to buy 3 kilos of hash over here, that's gonna be some expensive shit.
Gonna come out the pocket.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, I think he was paying like, I don't know, maybe $1,500 a kilo or some shit like that, which is not real.
2.2 pounds of hash for $1,500. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, not a bad day.
Yeah, fucking A. 3 of them. Shoot.
Yeah, and he put them in books. He cut out books, and he stuffed them in the books, and then he sealed the books.
Well, I see you got a book over there. Is this a Moroccan thing you're looking at there? Or?
No. What this is actually a really good book that I've had for a number of years. I've tried to keep it in really good condition because I've always really gone back to it. And this is the Cannabis Growers Bible. This is by a gentleman named Greg Green, and really, I read a lot of books before I read this one, and then this one actually really opened my eyes because it had a lot more information in it than most books, right? Like I've read, of course, George Cervantes' book, which has great information in there about growing and the different types of growing and things like that, which is awesome information, something everybody needs to know. But like it says, is that's horticulture 101, and this is kind of more of even like a horticulture 103, 104.
Yeah, the
And then
next step, couple
yeah,
steps into it.
it goes into and then it goes into a little bit more of the old school hash making and the different genetics and a little bit more of how breeding works and one of the things I like in here that we'll bring up on another program, another episode, is spider mite control. He brings up in here why spider mites show up, which is you can prevent why they show up. You'll prevent them in the first place, and not just having to deal with them and stuff. So,
Right, right.
that's a lot of good. There's a lot of good info here in this book, and I just kind of have this here in front of me to as a little bit of a reference material because, like I said, it's real good. And he talks here about how to make old school hash. There's drum machines, and basically those are just dry sift machines that turn real slowly. My problem with a lot of the dry sift machines that are on the market today are they all turn too fast. And everybody's like, oh, no, they don't. They turn out gold and stuff. I'm like, yeah, but slow that down and run it in the cold and watch the color and everything that comes out. Like, that's really where it is. It's the speed and the temperature. And everybody, I think, is actually running their stuff in room temperature rooms, and they're running it at twice the speed they should. So if everybody slowed it down and cooled it down, then everything would work out a little bit better for you.
Yeah,
Hey.
you always want to hash. Hash definitely likes the cold. You know what I mean? Pretty much all types of hash.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's why there's, bubble hash. You have to use ice water, is because it separates the trichome from the plant and allows, it kind of tries to keep the plant matter pushed away there. And
Yeah, and even like fucking butane's cold as shit. You know what I mean? All the solvents are pretty cold there.
hell yeah, I freeze them. I freeze my fucking hand a couple few times.
Yeah, and then folks, freeze their trim, freeze their nugs. You know what I mean? Freeze their fresh plant. You know what I mean? It's just cold. Cold seems to work the best and gets them heads brittle and creates a nice hash.
Right, right. Well, what I like too about the cold is that it doesn't just get the heads brittle. You can actually sometimes pull the entire trichome stem off
Right, right.
as well. And the stem has some things in it that the stem actually has a little bit more CBDs in it than the head does. So that's why I like that too. And I think that's why old school hash had way more of that body effect than the newer stuff does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it had a little bit more, you know what I mean? Because they were always working with the better, proper, colder temperatures and things like that. Because even right now, what people don't understand is if you're doing a butane blowdown and your room is hot, then that's still not a good thing. Your room has to be cold where you're making this. Just because your product is cold and the unit you're using is cold, your room also has to be cold because that's setting the entire environment. Because you can also shock it by taking it from the cold unit you're working with, and all of a sudden you're oh fuck, I'm kind of high. You're exposing it. There you go to the atmosphere that the room is and the temperature that the room is, and at that point, those are big fluctuations which can do harmful things to your product.
Yeah, for sure.
So, getting just sticking on the topic of the old school hash and stuff. You brought up the water extraction a little bit beforehand. Why don't you run us through how you pull that one off? Boom.
Well, yeah, I mean, I used to run, cold water. A lot of people, cold water's coming back, actually, ice wax, things of that nature, fucking planed out hash. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, I'd get a bunch of sick-ass trim, throw it in the freezer for a while, I had the bubble bags. Shout out to Bubble Man and them.
Shout out to my Uncle Eldon.
I had I had a little washing machine bit, and you agitate the trees or the trim, whatever you're using, that's cold.
The washing machine where you put it up on the counter and then wait for the rinse cycle.
Yeah.
And it all drains down into your
Drain,
bubble
drain right
bag.
into the bucket full of bags, and then fucking drain out the bags or pull out the bags one by one, and separate the hash.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Coffee filters or cardboard or whatever you're into.
Now, what would you use as like the drying out? Because I know one of my buddies, what he would do was put them in Sillamil bags and then boil them, so the water would kind of separate itself, and then you would roll it with a rolling pin to kind of try to get all the excess water out and throw it in the freezer, of course, But what was your process or ones you knew of?
Well, for the most part, I just went heavy with coffee filters and then cardboard, and then my hands and fingers and towels and whatnot. Fold it in the coffee filter into towels, and then the coffee filter would soak up a lot of the moisture, as with the towels. And then after that, just finger work, turn it inside out all the time. Just really just tweaking on it, frankly.
Right, right. Now, in your opinion, would you ever be able to 100% get all the water molecules out of the hash?
Well, I don't know if I would do it the way that I was doing it, but I'm sure there's ways to do it. A lot of people try to freeze it out. I don't know how that works, but
See, to me, because how I learned to make hash was through the old school dry sifting way. It was the first way that I ever learned. And basically because bubble bags really wasn't big back then, and they hadn't really kind of made it over here yet. And so, we take the dry sift, and on cold mornings, I remember watching a lot of good product float off into the distance, because the way we used to do it was you get it, and you'd have it in a bag, not necessarily a bag. Well, it was a bag, but it was made out of silk screen, and then you would wrap that bag in another layer of silk screen that was a little bit better. I'm not going to give away my screens. And then you'd do that in another layer, and finally a final layer. And you would actually sit outside on a really cold morning and shake it. And did you ever see anybody doing that one?
no, I never caught that one.
Yeah, so, okay, this is like real old school, how they did it back in the way day, right? Because this my dad taught me, and he learned over in Nepal and shit. And so, and you would sit there, and you would shake it. And I would see my dad. My dad did it most of the time because he kind of had it down. But you would shake it, and you would see all this product, all this pollen and stuff go flying off in the distance. Believe me, all of it was smokable.
I'm sure.
But the stuff you would pull off of those screens was amazing. Just absolutely amazing. Like, it would sit there and press in your hands like it was nothing, and it would stay golden. Some hash, when you press it, it goes and it turns into like this darker stuff.
Yeah.
But this stuff would stay golden, even more golden than these like little pictures I got right here. And so and that's what was amazing about it, And sure, he would waste a lot, but what you would get, you would only need, a sliver. And it would get you nicely, baked. Sure, 2 or 3 slivers, and you were fucking gone. It was like taking an entire bong toke.
If only it was dabbable, man.
It is.
Is dabbable?
It is dabbable. The only problem with it is that it's not 100% residue free.
Full melt, yeah.
Yeah. Well, even the full melt that you make, it isn't like residue free, because like when they're blowing it down and they're making the dabbable stuff, they're actually taking the trichomes and they're completely bursting the trichomes open. And so when it's doing that boiling off process, it's kind of taking some of that residual crap, and taking it off. Some of that, yeah, it's kind of like a physical, stuff that's in there. It's removing that. And with old school hash, you still have a little bit of that physical stuff, because the trichomes have that, all those things surrounding them and whatnot. And so it does leave residue on the nails and whatnot. But I've done it off of a banger. Quartz banger is really where it's at, and I've done it off of that, and it really fucks you up. And I like it off of quartz banger because they're easy to clean. You can deal with a little bit of residue on those things.
You get a good turnout if you press it too. Cold water.
Yeah, I know. I've seen people press it under like extreme pressure, 15 to 20,000.
Yeah.
And you just watch it just kind of leach and everything out. Yeah, what my buddy used to do, I saw him actually do that. And what he used to do is then he'd just go and he'd cut the inside of the patty and all the outside stuff. He'd still get rid of, or make something, put it in edibles or something.
Right.
Because he'd be like, nah, I still don't like that. I can still use it for something else. But yeah, I've seen that done as well. Nice little cold water pucks. coming out, almost like rosin pressing them in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they do that too.
Yeah. I've had that though. Like to rosin press hash, you have to make really good hash.
Well, if you want to get really good rosin.
Yeah. Well, I've seen. I got some bubble hash that was given to me by somebody, and I went and pressed it, and it was just horrid. Like you could tell it wasn't clean. Yeah, and then I got some more. I've never had some actual bubble hash that pressed well. You know, it just never did at all. It never pressed well. I've actually saw my buddy repress shatter, and that was pretty funny.
Repressed shatter.
Yeah,
well, that's weird.
He got a whole bunch of it. It wasn't very good. And so he got a whole bunch of it, and he just pressed it on there, and everything came off. And very little came off, but it was pretty stony. It was an odd thing to watch him do. I never seen anybody do it before.
Did it fix the flavor? I mean, did it do anything?
No, it didn't really fix the flavor. It just made it way more potent.
Really?
Yeah. But he did it at like the super low. I don't know. He had it down. He had done it a few times apparently.
Oh, that's funky.
But I don't suggest people doing it. But he made a whole bunch of bad shatter. He had to figure out something to do with it, right?
Press it.
Press it, yeah. I don't know how he came with that. Was a stoner, actually. You know, it had to be a stoner thought, like, oh, what am I going to do with all this shitty shatter? Oh, I'm going to put it in my rosin press and figure out what fucking happens.
Press it out.
Let's just press it and figure it out. Well, fuck you.
There's the bags.
Yeah, all right. So move on to talking a little bit about bubble bags. I personally don't like this method. I think it beats the plant up a little bit too much, and it makes the plant matter the same size as the trichome, which, you know, then it's really super hard to separate and everything like that. So I don't prefer this method. I've made this method several times in my life, but not one of my preferable ones. You know, I think just the chat. Hey, what's up, Eddie? We see you.
There he is.
Our YouTube's still not working though.
It's working. It's just we can't get display. I'm not sure.
Oh, so we can't see, but they can see?
Yeah, it's working. I have the display up on the account.
Right.
So it's working. It's just we can't see it. I don't know. I'm working on it.
Oh, it's okay.
Shout out to Eddie Rushman, man. He's a big hash lover. I'm sure he's enjoying this hash talk.
Well, that's cool. As long as people can see us, I'm not worried about seeing myself. I'm not that conceited.
I don't give a fuck. I like hash, though. Let's get back to that.
I love hash. Yeah.
So you don't prefer the bags. So you'd rather beat the shit out of shit with stocks and whatnot. And
no, see, I prefer a 55-gallon drum with what's called a pollinizer, and it's actually used in nurseries and things like that to put flowers in, and they turn super slow because you don't want to beat up flowers too much.
Right.
And it depollinizes the flower so you can take it and repollinize other flowers. I use one of those. I really, really enjoy it because I like the speed that it runs at. Just a really easy unit. It has its own timer on it, which is awesome because a lot of these things don't have, the proper timers. I like mine. It's got a little timer, 10 minutes in the cold. You're good to go. You know what I mean? But yeah, so anyways, the bags are a good thing if you have trash that isn't necessarily able to be tumbled. If you've already have it, it's already in super small, leaves or anything like that. Some of that isn't able to be tumbled because it will just get beat up and whatnot. So you might as well just throw it in some bags and see what you can come up with.
Right.
So what was your temperature that you worked with? Did you ever keep control of your temperature?
Nah, man. I was pretty young in the game. I just fucking blasted it. I knew that heat was my enemy because I ran with a lot of ice. So if your room's hot, your ice is going to melt.
Yeah.
And then your water's going to be too much. And then, you're kind of fucking jonesing. So I knew that much for sure. So I never ran stuff when it was too hot. But I didn't really pay too much attention to exactly what temperature was what, I know I froze my material every time, froze it good.
Right. Well, my uncle, who is pretty good at making bubble hash, he used to run it 46 to 48 degrees. If it ever got to 50, he would make sure he cooled it down. And it actually turned out to be a real optimum temperature and pretty easy to get to with ice. You know what I mean? It's not too cold. And so I think that's a good one. If you're out there running bubble hash, try that. Try that temperature and see where it works out for you. If you use a lower temperature and it works good, but I'm sure a higher temperature wouldn't do any good for you.
Smoke weed every day.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
it that motherfucking time already? God damn.
It is that time.
It is that motherfucking time. Happy 420, everybody.
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, our 420 shout out here on the Cannabis Couch is brought to you by Cheapest Hydro. They're over there at 263 West La Cienega Drive in Riverside, California. You can find them at Cheapest Hydro pretty much on Instagram, Facebook.com, and it's Cheapest Hydro at Yahoo. To call them, because if you have any questions, bro, you guys can go ahead and give them a call. I'm sure they'll answer anything you need. And they have a lot of really knowledgeable staff, and the owners themselves are also very knowledgeable about everything. So it's good to have people in the game and not just a little filler corporate America in there. But their phone number is 951-341-9223. And they are always our 420 shout-out sponsor here on the Cannabis Couch. So thank you guys very much over there at Cheapest Hydro. Always keeping our viewers taken care of. I know they just gave me a call. The guy that won our giveaway last week, he came in and picked up his stuff. I guess he was real stoked, and so
Hell yeah.
that's pretty dope on that one. Thank you guys very much for doing that giveaway. We'll have to do another one maybe next month or something like that. Can't expect him to give away the whole store, you know what I mean?
Can't do it.
No, can't stay in business that way. All right, so bubble bags. Why did you like bubble bags?
Because I had immediate access to them, you know what I mean? A buddy of mine gave them to me. Because he was pretty much done or he was moving or something. He didn't have access to material anymore. So I had access to both, and fuck, it was too easy.
They're just on and popping after that.
Yeah, well, he taught me how to use them, so I just jumped right in. It wasn't like I, really wanted to make hash, because frankly, it's a little bit of work, and I'd rather just, jut. But
Yeah.
so that's
Okay.
what I did. I just started fucking working, making hash, and I really enjoyed it.
I feel you. And any viewers out there, man, you guys got some comments? You guys make some hash. Throw us down some comments and tell us what's up. Get involved in our conversation here. I started making hash because of my dad, and I kind of never looked back after that. And so I just wanted to figure out what were the different ways to make hash. I didn't necessarily care what was the best way. I just wanted to figure out every way. Because then, you can kind of put it together like, why does this way work better than this? And what works from this, yada, yada, put it all together. Stocks from all of it. Because the stock is actually hemp. You know what I mean? So once you trim it all off, all those growers out there, you're all throwing that shit away. We should figure out a way that can all be donated. Because it's got no THC. It's got no nothing in it. You know what I mean? Donate all that stuff to be able to make clothes for the homeless or
Paper, all sorts of shit.
Yeah, you know what I
There's
mean?
a lot of uses for hemp. For sure.
And right now everybody's throwing it away. And when it's about to be legal, and all these people are going to be having these legal farms, so they're going to know exactly how many plants you have. So you're not going to care about it. You're like, okay, well, yeah, I do got 1,500 stocks, so I got a registered 1,500 plants. Who cares?
Right.
I know some people that take those things and they mush them up or put them through mulchers and use it the right way or go and respread it or whatever. And if you do that, that's great, because you're not throwing it away. But I know some people just take it to the dump or whatever, but they're reusable. It's reusable in way better ways than just using it as mulch, because Danny Boone brought up, there's paper products you can make, there's shoes, there's clothes, there's all kinds of things that can be made from that fiber. And so I think with more people growing it and being able to say I grow, and I that'll be a cool thing with the hemp being able to come out. And even the water leaf is usable.
Oh, for sure.
When people put it in the alcohol and then make those tincture rubs and shit like that. And that's pretty cool. And I think that's kind of why I like the whole 64 thing. I was against it, but I kind of like it now. But how many would you use?
I had an 8-bag system.
8 bags. Damn, you had a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need them all, but fuck, that's what I did.
All right, so explain an 8-bag system for the people out there that don't know. So what's the purpose of having that many bags?
Well, just to really, separate the different grades of hash, and not every strain of tree that you would run would, excel in the same bag. You know what I mean? They might be, one of them, your 5-bag might be killing them. The next one, your 6-bag is going to kill them. That's what I found.
Yeah.
You weed out the garbage in the first couple bags, and then, you get the fucking super dupe in the middle there, and then the end, I don't know, it's kind of tedious, but, I always did that too. It always, some super full melt down there in the 7 and 8 bag.
Yeah, yeah. Would you use your top bags for like cooking or anything like that, or would you actually just try to press them?
No, yeah, my second, third, maybe even fourth bag I would, but that first bag is just purely, to keep the trim in and to fucking just trash.
It's just garbage.
Yeah, anything that leaked through anything that's big that leaked through is gonna get fucking separated in that first bag. So I never did nothing with that because frankly, most of the hash went into the second bag anyway.
Right, right.
The second would still have some particles in it and shit, and yeah, stuff like that. I would throw in butter, and it would separate, in the butter, in the water, da 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 da. So yeah, I mean, I cook with the stuff, but I wouldn't want to smoke it. That's no good.
No, it doesn't taste very good. Ruck says he only buys hash. No, I know he smokes a little bit of flower.
He don't buy too much cold water hash. I don't really fuck around with that anymore. But yeah, he smokes hash deluxe. He loves it.
Hash deluxe.
He buys flowers. He's fucking lying.
I was gonna say, I know I've seen him smoke fucking flowers on his Instagram Live or Facebook Live or whatever it is. I've seen him taking bong tokes.
Yeah, he's bong tokes, J's. He's a big dabber though. He likes the dabs.
He is a big dabber. Every time he's always like, he's like, y'all gonna do a fucking glob with me? I'm like, fuck no. Fuck don't do a glob with you, motherfucker. I tried to get you to do a glob last time we put you on live, but you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I got baby lungs, folks. I got bronchial baby lungs.
It's all good. It just doesn't take you as much to get stoned.
Yeah. Or I'll just take 3 fucking regular sized dabs instead of dying.
You know me, I just fuck it, do one and done, and just get it. Just nice one big. I took 2 dabs right before I left the house today. I never take 2 fucking dabs. I took 2 dabs right before I walked out of my house. I was driving over here like, I'm fucked up. I do not like to get this high right before the show. I'm a little bit too fucked up, man.
Yeah, I dabbed right before I left the pad too.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen.
He's got the cough button. I'm over here just fucking hanging.
Yeah, fucking. I had a little bit of a cough like last week, right? And I was like, okay, I'm getting rid of this shit, whatever. And then on Friday night, I went to D-Rex's fucking birthday party, and everybody there was literally a fucking like 2 fucking packages full of backwoods. You know what I mean? Like the things that you see in the stores. And they just kept pulling them out of there and rolling them up, pulling out of there and rolling them up. And I kid you not, man, this one of the barbers that was there, he rolled up like 2 backwoods together. So it was fucking long as fuck. And the next day I was sitting there coughing up all kinds of shit. Like I cannot smoke that tobacco with the weed. It just does not make it right for me.
Yeah, I don't really smoke blunts, and even when I did, I didn't smoke backwoods. That's for sure, man. That shit really cycled around though, man. People really feeling them right now. I can't do it.
Well, I mean, marketing. They paid for the right people to promote their shit, and everybody picked it up. You know what I mean? Like you never see Adam Mill without a backwoods or brass knuckles.
Mac Dre was smoking them. Wasn't nobody smoking them shits, man. Now everybody's down here. Let me get them woods.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like, just it's marketing. Don't get me wrong. Like, they're a good product. They really do work really well. I do think that they look a lot easier to roll than regular blunts.
They look like a fucking mess to me, man.
Yeah, but well, maybe it's because I saw this black guy doing it, and black people are like completely pro at rolling blunts, and this guy was like. He was fucking mad pro, dude, because I'm telling you, he was rolling this big ass one. I was like, how the fuck is he going to pull this off? Like, I'm sitting there in amazement that he's doing this shit, and he just had it like, boom. What I noticed about backwoods, though, is that like he could start from one side and get it all going, and he didn't have to fuck with the other side. Like how on normal blunts, you kind of have to like get it all at once. Right. He was able to like kind of build it in a way. He put it all in there, and then he built it, and then he put some more in, and he built it. So, like, he had a bunch, like, even hanging off his hand. So he was building it and rolling it at the same time. So that's why I kind of see them as being easier to, like, build those bigger ones because, you try to get one of those extendo blunts and roll that motherfucker, you have to be a pro.
Yeah, buddy.
But I can't roll. I'll admit that.
Man.
I can't believe I just said that on air, though.
I roll like a fucking champion.
I can't roll at all. I can blow glass, but I cannot, and I can make a bong, but I cannot roll the joint, and that's probably really sad.
That's rough, man.
Yeah, I've always cheated, and gotten those joint rollers.
Joint roller? Yeah, man.
They make a perfect joint.
That's how a lot of people learn how to roll, you know.
I guess I just never went for
But,
it.
you know, a lot of people don't like end up at joint rollerville. Fucking Eddie can't roll a fucking joint either, man.
Oh, he just called you out, Eddie.
It's all right. He knows he can't roll a joint. He has them rollers. I got him a king size roller so he can fucking roll up a king size joint.
He says that he still smokes flowers occasionally. Young dudes are smoking backwoods dipped in lean. Fuck my life. Holy fuck, I haven't heard about that one yet.
Backwood dipped in lean.
That is some stupid
Settle
shit.
down, kids.
Yeah, serious.
Settle the fuck down.
That is fucking retarded.
Put the lean away.
Yes.
Jesus. Just smoke your backwood, man. And better yet, don't even smoke that shit. This shit is grimy.
Yeah, if y'all need lean in your life, then you need to change your life. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm all down for getting, fucked up and having fun and partying. But why? What's the point of just being a blob? Be like, I can't fucking do anything.
Hey, man. Fools are into all sorts of shit. But yeah, that shit will kill you. You know what I mean? Like, prolonged use of that stuff will, and fast, will fuck you up and will kill you.
Yeah.
Seizures. There's so many side effects.
Man.
The rappers talk about it, so the kids want to do it.
Well, I got to hire some rapper to start shouting out the Cannabis Couch. All the kids will want to do it. Fuck, is that what I got to do?
Get it done. Yeah, that's what the
Lil
kids
Wayne's
like.
fault. Yeah, I'll give you that, Rux. Lil Wayne's fault. Yeah, what's in that purple cup of his or whatever, right? That's what he raps about.
Lil Wayne fucking's in the hospital like every 5 minutes from seizures or whatnot. That kid's gonna die any day now.
Yeah, he's all kinds of fucked up,
he's
isn't
fucked
he?
up. He's fucked up.
Like I even try to not drink so much Slacktivist because I know it's made with cannabis and everything, but the way it makes me feel is the thing. Like I know I'm not poisoning myself like I'm with lean, but holy fuck, dude, sometimes I'm just laying there like, what the fuck? I had one on a D-Rex birthday party, and I just had one, and I was fucked up. I was so glad I didn't drive home. I was like, oh, hell yeah, I got somebody driving me home, because I was fucking feeling great.
I always drink a couple of those. Are they the ones at Blacklist?
I think there was a couple people who go Blacklist, but yeah, I think Slacktivist does go to Blacklist.
Somebody's got the double cups, man.
That's Slacktivist.
Yeah. I get a couple of them from them. Fuck, I get all wasted.
Yeah, they do. They kind of fuck you up.
But that's like if I have a booth there, you know what I mean? I'll spend the whole afternoon and fucking just.
Yeah, I won't drink one unless like I know I'm chilling or whatever, because yeah, they do kind of just they give me way more than edibles do. That's for sure.
I had the booth right next to him one time, and I was just like,
That was
"Hey, give
fun.
me another one. Give me another one. I'm fucking thirsty. All I really want is a water, but I'm gonna take a Slacktivist because damn it, I need to quench this thirst."
Yeah, but it's made with Sprite and fucking just nothing but basically syrup. So you're just getting thirstier the more of
Yeah,
you
but
drink.
I was super high, so it was good. It was good. Some money was made. People were helped out. It was a good day. I just remember getting fucked up because I was right next to dude, and I took full advantage.
I would have too. I would have
yeah.
too. I take full. I go there. I still take full advantage. I'm still walking around like, "What's up, everybody? What's up? Y'all got some dabs you want to give out?"
Cannabis lungs.
Yeah, see, look, both of us over here. It was that goddamn joint.
Yeah, it's
You were
joints and
smoking.
fucking Newports. I'm the worst.
Yeah, I can't smoke joints, man. Like that's you know what, and I bet you that's why I can't roll them, is because I don't really like to smoke them and shit. I'd prefer a bong toke. It's filtered. I can take more at one time.
Can't really roll around with a bong everywhere you go, though. Like, I walk around the streets and smoke some joints, no problem,
Yeah. In my younger days, I would have very much disagreed with your last statement. Because I had this badass bubbler. I mean, this thing was fucking sick, dude. And I took it everywhere with me. And I always smoked out of that motherfucker. Like, I love that fucking thing.
Yeah, I was a bubbler guy, too. I definitely had a lot of nice bubblers that I cherished. Broke, but...
You want to know what's fucked up? That bubbler still exists. My mom stole it from me.
Oh.
And now she smokes stress out of it. So
Can't.
I don't even want it back.
You gotta super boil that thing, man. Throw it back in the oven, dude.
I don't even think glass can be that pure to fucking keep stress from. I started smoking. I was like, all right, whatever.
Not gonna be able to clean that up.
No.
Well, you're welcome, Mom.
Yeah. She's always like, give me good weed. I'm like, no. Go pay for it. The fuck?
Give me good weed.
You pay for that crap you buy. Go fucking pay. Yeah, and isn't that sad? I'm the host of Cannabis Couch. My mom would rather go smoke stress because that's just the way she is. It is so fucking weird. But hey, you know, I turned Danny Boom off because he's opening up his Gatorade over there. Didn't want it to get all loud for all our viewers. Yeah, it is. There, he's back on. All right, so another way of making hash besides the bubble bags that we went into right there is it's a multi-screen thing. I talked about it a little bit when I said that we were shaking it outside. That was a multi-screen way of making the hashish because you're catching the different molecules that are at the different screen sizes. I guess it is. Right? Is it a size?
Different microns.
Microns. There you go. See, that was the word I was fucking looking for. I knew I did not have the right word. Got a savior over here. That's why I got him on the show. But it is a multi-screen method. So in a sense, it's kind of like you take silk screen that and you make those little brackets that just like you would for silk screening a shirt. And you shake it down. You shake the flour onto the next screen, and that becomes one condition of powder. Shake it onto the next screen, comes another type of powder. Shake it on the next screen, and so on and so forth. And depending on your starting product and your screen sizes, as you're dropping, gets you the different qualities of such. And screen sizes is actually a very big important thing when it comes down to it. Now, they've changed dramatically over the last few years on what people say you need to use. I've heard people going all the way down to like 90 and all the way up to, 350 and things like that. And people want to tell me, oh, well, this is and that, and it's different. And, well, to each his own. I like to stick with the ones I was taught because it makes out, really good. Oh, do we have a visitor? Oh, right. We got pizza. That's how we do shit right here. Pizza man. Pizza. Yeah, we got pizza, and we're going to break. That's how this shit works. Hey, tell that pizza guy what's up, and fucking thank you. The Cannabis Couch loves him right now.
All right, Cannabis Couch loves the pizza man.
Yeah, is he in there with you?
He's right here.
Yeah, love you, pizza man. I got the fucking munchies like a motherfucker. All right, but we're going to go to break. Have some pizza. When we get back, we'll talk a little bit more about some different hash making ways. And, just get back on the topic of old school hash. If you guys have any comments about hashish and maybe a trick you have or something you heard from your friends, aunts, uncle used to do this back in the day, let us know. I would love to hear about it. Stick with us here on Kaotic Radio. We are the Cannabis Couch, and we should be back momentarily if I can get my engineer to get us going. There we go. We'll see you guys soon. Later. What's going on, everybody? This is JC. I'm back here on the Cannabis Couch, tuning in here on Kaotic Radio. Danny Boom had to go be a dad and a husband, so more power to him, because you always got to take care of those responsibilities. That's the way life works, right? And he comes here out of the goodness of his heart and all for fun anyway, so thank you very much, Boom. I'm sure you'll be tuning in and talking some shit, because, well, I told you, you better tune in and talk some shit, motherfucker. That's how it works, right? You ain't here. You can at least type. I know phone's got talk and type now. I'm sure that's what Rux is using, because his hands are too busy taking dabs, lighting the torch.
Yeah, that text and talk, man, always fucks up my words, though.
Bro, I'm ducking all the time.
Yeah, right. Right.
All the time. I'm fucking ducking all the time. I like my new phone because I can program cuss words into it, so it knows. You know what I mean? Like, all right, like I went through and programmed. I'm not kidding you. I programmed cunt. I programmed fuck, shit, cock, fucking
awesome,
dick.
dude.
I programmed all these shit, all this stuff in my phone, because this is how I talk to my friends. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
my morning text to my cousins usually, "What's up, cunt?" You know.
Like, damn.
You know. Well, hey, when he reads it, it's gonna get his attention.
Oh, yeah, definitely, right?
Everybody else is gonna be writing and being like, "Hey, what's up? Good morning, whatever." Like, "Hey, what's up, cunt?" He's gonna pay attention to that one. That's all I'm trying to do is stand out. Not trying to be an asshole, but you know what? If an asshole stands out, I'm going to. I just don't want to be smelly.
And we all assholes anyway.
It's all good. I'll be that bleached asshole.
There you
the
go.
nice porn star one.
Oh, yeah, those are the best, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. They taste good, too.
Oh,
They do.
We've gotten off topic now.
I'm sure that's a topic all the guys watching here. Look, I got another viewer all of a sudden. Look, oh, here comes another one. Like, oh, my God, they're talking about chicks and their bleached assholes.
Yeah,
Bam! Bam! But I got to change the topic to the show from fucking porn stars and cannabis.
Hey, porn stars get you viewers, I tell you what.
I really would. You know what, guys? Just because I came up with that, I'm going to go ahead and try to get a porn star on this show. I have some little weed models coming on and everything like that to, promote. And basically what I want to talk to those girls about is where they see their future in cannabis going, you know what I mean, with it being kind of corporate and everything like that. And, are the cannabis models really going to try to stay in the game because of the stoner mentality? I got some better questions for them too, but my topic today is hash. Hashish, as my everybody else in my family calls it, because everybody now calls it hash, but it's actually hashish. Hashish.
So hash is the short version, baby.
Hash is the short version, yes.
Oh, hashish.
Hashish.
Is that Jamaican? I
I don't actually know where it comes from.
Oh, you got another thing.
Well, if you really want to know, I do believe it comes from the Middle East,
Everything come from the Middle East.
where hashish was really kind of like that's where basically a lot of this came from. Was like the Middle East, the middle part of what would be Asia, I guess, the southern part of Asia where Nepal is and everything like that. It kind of spread out over that way towards the Middle East as well, because that's kind of where marijuana grew naturally. Still to this day grows real naturally out there and everything. Oh, excuse me on that one. Like I said, those fucking backwoods have killed me, and I don't think I ever want to smoke another blunt again in my life after smoking as many blunts as I did on fucking Friday night. It was not cool.
Friday was Cinco de Mayo, right?
Yeah. It's also D-Rec. He's a glass blower. It's also his birthday.
Oh, that's right. You were telling me. That's right.
So we were having that birthday party, and it was a lot of fun. Shout out D-Rec. Thank you for having me and everything. It was cool seeing everybody at the party. But yeah, this is fucking... Blunts are killing me. We gotta get some bongs over there at the Hitman Coffee Shop. We got plenty of rigs. We need some bongs. So
we always need some bongs.
Always need some bongs. That's how I love smoking flower. Is through a filtration and through bong. Actually, and to be honest with you, people are gonna probably think I'm nuts now. It's the way I prefer to smoke hash too. Even old school hash. Like you're supposed to just take pipe rips of it or something like that, or put it in a joint. But it's the way I even prefer to smoke old school hash, because I can take a gigantic rip.
Really?
Of it, yeah. If you spread it up right and then you smoke with a torch, you can actually take a really big rip of it. And that's kind of how I like to get high. I don't like to sit there and have a sesh You know, everybody sits down like, hey, you want to have a sesh? I'm like, nah, man, I want to get high and go do something.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to sit here and get high. It's not really, it's not productive in my eyes.
No. Then you be the stereotypical stoner then at that point.
Yeah, I'm definitely not that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not the as they would call it, the scene kid.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not the scene kid when it comes to. I don't want to sit down and look at everybody's heady piece. And I've been involved in this so long. Heady pieces don't really, unless they're made by like fucking Banjo or somebody just amazing in the glass game. I really don't care to sit around and look at it. But it's each their own. And I think all the super heady pieces and stuff out there kind of all hit the same. I want something with function. It's really gonna hit real well, and be able to really pull the flavor and all the potency through, while at the same time as getting rid of all the plant matter and all the other crap that I don't want in my lungs. But back to hashish, and since I said it, taking how to consume hashish. A lot of people nowadays, they have the rigs, and it's all about dabbing, and it's considered hash oil and everything, which I guess in a sense it is, because it's extracted. It's hash, and it's extracted that way. But old school hashish is really awesome, because you can hit it with a lighter, and it has these awesome esters, and it just tastes and smells so fucking good. And you don't really need a whole lot of it. Like, people are taking these gigantic dabs now, and that's all good and dandy. But if I give you a little bit of some true old school melt, it's gonna fuck you right up. And people don't realize that, is because the way this stuff is made and the way it's refined, and the fact that it doesn't just have the certain type of the plants. It has terpenes. It has trichomes, which are containing the THCs and CBDs, even some CBNs as well, and things like that. And THCA, and then it also grab a little bit more of the stems, which have a little bit more CBDs in them. So it has all these things that kind of bring it all together in order to, make it really super fucking effective, which is, why old school hash was around for so long. The dab scene's taken off, but I think that's really just mostly because of popularity and internet. Because people are still out there making old school hash. You just don't really hear about it anymore, which is kind of a shame. I'm sure Mike's had some old school hash in his life.
Oh, yeah. Back in my younger days.
Your younger days, so
my younger days.
70, 80 years ago?
At least. I think it was 63 years ago.
63 years ago.
63 years ago, man, we were rocking it.
Got real specific over there.
You like that?
See, Mike right now, he is bald with a goatee, but I know in 1969 that motherfucker had like no facial hair and hair down to his ass, and he was sitting at Haight Ashbury like, "What's up? Let's light one up with the dead."
Oh, so you saw the pictures? I take it.
I know what's up.
Yeah,
dude.
see.
I know what's up. Don't even try to lie. He tries to front, and right now he tells me like, "Oh, I can't get high. Smoking ain't my thing." I tried to pass him the joint earlier today, and he's like, "No." I try every time too.
I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy.
He's a motherfucking liar is what he is. He's a fucking good boy, my ass. If you were a good boy, you wouldn't work at Kaotic Radio. See what it says over there? Kaotic.
Chaotic.
You would not be working here.
That's loosely translated to good boy. You didn't know?
Where the fuck are you from? Because goddamn, what the fuck do you have to do to be considered a bad person if chaotic is good? Like, motherfucker's a terrorist. Oh, he's, that's mild around here. That's just Jimmy.
That's
just Jimmy.
Right.
I mean, this guy's got nukes. Well, he's fucking crazy. Well, what the fuck?
Now you're starting to learn. See, now you're starting to
What the
learn.
fuck, man? Where'd you grow up? Russia? The fuck, the USSR and shit over here?
That's how we roll here at Chaotic Radio, man. That's how we roll.
That is how we roll. We gotta have fun. Gotta do whatever the fuck we want, because this is internet radio and we can do whatever the fuck we want, right?
Pretty much, right?
Yeah, I mean,
we have the pizza man here and everything.
Yeah, I mean, except for having girls' titties on YouTube, we can pretty much do what we want.
Yeah, we keep the titties just to ourselves.
That's all right though. Hey, if they have pasties on though, it's okay.
Oh yeah, bring them. Where they at?
Yeah, see, that's okay. We're working on it.
Yeah, we got pasties in the drawer. Don't
we
you
have
worry.
to be professional. I can get that, but at the same point in time, I'm like, man, I gotta be professional. I gotta show people that this is what's up. Like, yes, sex sells in this industry, but at the same point in time, that
Sex sells in every industry.
Yeah, that's what's up. You know, sex
Yeah.
sells in every industry, and the cannabis industry needs to be set apart from that and be separated by our product and not by the way that the chicks look at the booth, because those chicks go to Monster's booth and the fucking, you know, then the Rockstar booth. They go to whoever the fuck is paying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And really, I'd rather look at your booth because of the product you have sitting there, not because of the chicks you have behind it. If you have some 80-year-old lady behind there and she knows what the fuck she's talking about, I'd much rather deal with that than some fucking 25-year-old thing barely wearing anything that has no fucking clue, and all it says, this is dank to everything.
yeah, you know those ones.
Oh my God, it drives me up the fucking wall. Like, oh no, yeah, try this one. This one's dank. Have you tried it? Yeah, I got blunted off of it. Bitch, you're going to get stoned off of anything in the case. What was the difference between this one and the next one? Did you think this one will help back pain over neck pain? Do you think it's going to help with insomnia? Or do you think it's going to help with, like, nerve? What the fuck is it?
She got dank, dude. Dank.
She got fucking blunted, though. That's all she knows. I'm so fucking... and that's what I'm glad that, like, that whole game's going to change. People are going to have an education. So when you go buy hash now at a fucking dispensary, people are going to actually have an education behind it and be able to talk to you and tell you about the hash.
Yeah, that's probably a lot better. But it doesn't hurt to have them have, you know, big titties and shit.
But be educated.
Well, yeah, you got to be educated. That don't matter. That's always first.
But be educated. And that's what comes first to me. Like, that's cool. Like, if I wanted to see big titties, I go to the Playboy Mansion.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's a time and a place for everything. And to me, when I'm going and I want to buy some bomb-ass fucking hash and there's two different products sitting next to each other, I want to know what the fucking difference is. Are they exactly the same? Do they come from the same warehouse? They just got different labels on them? What? You know what I mean? Like, what's the difference? Tell me how these different things react. And nobody can really tell you that. And I think, like, well, up in Colorado they can, because they're fucking educated on the subject. You know what I mean? You have to go to school. You have to get certified in order to work behind a counter and sell.
You have to go to cannabis school in Colorado?
Yeah.
I didn't know you had to go to cannabis. I didn't even know there was a cannabis school.
Dude, I've been to cannabis school.
You've been to cannabis school?
Yeah.
Who offers cannabis?
I've been to Oaksterdam University up in Oakland.
Oh, no shit. And they offer cannabis.
Yeah, it's Oaksterdam University. It's all it's about, bro, is growing cannabis and teaching you from A to Zinc.
Oh, no shit.
Hell yeah.
Oh, shit. I'm going to have to go get there. Go get my doctorate in cannabis.
Yeah, that's going to cost you a whole fuck ton of money.
Oh, well, you know.
I went up there and took a few classes, and it fucking cost me a whole fuck ton of money. Because you got to stay up there. You got to fucking, you know, hotel room, all that BS. I just walked around, but I didn't get no rent-a-car.
You can get no rent-a-car Uber. You just had Uber to take you everywhere or what?
Uber didn't exist back then, bro.
Oh, shit.
Bro, I'm old.
You ain't no old.
I'm older.
You weren't back smoking it with me back in 69.
And I wasn't even a twinkle in my daddy's eye.
See, you ain't old. You ain't old. I was smoking it back in 69.
See, he was a Hayden Ashbury.
Yes, see?
Motherfucker.
I told you. I knew you seen the pictures. They all up on my Instagram and everything.
All up on your Instagram. I haven't gone that far down on Instagram. I'm going to Insta-stalk you now.
All right.
Go down there. You're going to be like, this motherfucker like that shit from 360 weeks ago. What the fuck?
He got it down to the week and shit.
Man, you ever seen that meme online when it says, bitch, think you Insta-stalk him because you like a picture from 36 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And you just want to leave the comment, bitch, you ain't looked this good in 36 weeks?
Oh, that's cold-blooded, dude.
Like, it's the best picture you've taken in 36 weeks is the only one I could fucking like.
I mean, why do people do that, though? You know, why do people do that? They go back weeks and months, and they like a picture that's like from forever ago.
Well, you know, I found this out, too, though. If you don't have a lot of followers,
yeah,
say like, okay, so my actual personal account that I'm not going to give out, but I have an actual personal account that's completely separated from everything. I post my kids on it. It's a family thing. I don't have very many I don't follow that many people.
Okay.
Right? I only follow maybe 300 fucking people. So when I'm going through my feed, I'll actually see pictures on there that I haven't seen, and it'll say 7 days ago.
All right.
You know what I mean? I haven't got a month ago because I think I follow more people than that. And I actually go on my
7
shit.
days. 7 days is decent, but I mean,
But think about it. If you don't go on your Instagram all the time and you don't follow that many people, you could come up with the picture from a month ago.
it's true. That's true.
You know, say you follow 60 people, which you see a lot of people. You know, they don't have a lot of followers, don't follow a lot of people. So somebody with only 60 followers follows you. They go on once a month.
Yeah, I mean, I got like 7 followers, so you know, it's probably what happens.
7?
Yeah, I got 7. People
Dude.
love me, dude.
I fluctuate 20 a day.
20 a day.
Yeah, no shit. My shit goes up and down like 20 a day because you get all these like free bongs and then you get those girl ones like, oh, watch my live sex chat and they just follow you and then I don't fucking pay attention to it, but they get taken off. So my fucking shit fluctuates so much. I don't even pay attention to it anymore.
Just send them over to me, man. I need more followers, dude. I gotta look more important and shit.
I'll give you a shout out on Instagram.
All right, good.
So that way everybody gets over to you. I'm like, look, this is the old school hippie. He may not look like it right now, but I'll vouch for it.
Well, I gotta be a hippie for it, man. Why I gotta be a hippie?
What's wrong with being a hippie?
Oh no, I know the hippies. Hell, we got some hippies here. We've had some hippies here.
I know.
Yeah. Do you know them?
No, but sometimes I smell this place when I walk in. It smells like Dutchie's a fucking hippie sometimes. Motherfucker. I smell this place when we walked in today. I was like, God damn.
Yeah, we got the hippies. We love hippies here at Kaotic Radio.
We do.
Yeah.
We love everybody here at Kaotic Radio.
Well, we do love everybody.
I mean, why not?
Right?
It's what we do.
It's what we do.
We share the love, the respect. Okay, I'm not going to lie. We share the love.
We share the love.
I mean,
I love you.
I know you do. I love you too, bro.
Thank you.
You're my favorite engineer.
Oh, yay me. I'm a favorite engineer.
Yeah.
All right.
Rachel's my second.
All right, good.
Rachel is my second favorite engineer.
Is the second favorite?
Yeah, she's pretty bomb. She's fucking funny as hell.
Yeah, she's probably a lot better than me, actually.
No. Because you're on top of it when it comes to all this other shit. I can be like, hey, what's going on? And you're like, bam, and you got it going on. Or normally I'm like, hey, what's up? You're like, I'm already on top of it. Just let me do my thing.
Right.
So like
she's much easier on the eyes then. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not that much to look at.
What's her nickname now? Hot Mama?
Hot Mama. Oh, yeah. You remember
Hot
that?
Mama.
Hot Mama.
I was watching that broadcast. I had just actually it came up on my phone, so I happened to click it on. I was like, oh, who's on today? So I watched it, and he was like, oh, yeah, Rachel, Hot Mama. I fucking started dying. I even typed in, I was like, Hot Mama, that's the fucking best shit ever.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Hot
God.
Mama.
I can't wait till she starts going off and she's getting her fucking attitude. I'm like, there's Hot Mama right there.
Hot Mama's back in the game.
That's why we call you Hot Mama, because you fucking start getting all crazy with it.
Yo.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck with Rachel. She'll cut a motherfucker.
Right.
She is that type of chick that I can just see pulling out a blade and like, I got you.
I know, man. She scared me sometimes.
Yeah, dude, just break that beer bottle she's holding.
Boom.
She's like, what makes you think I won't cut you?
You sound just like her right there.
I know, that's scary, huh? Oh, fuck. I hope she's not watching right now.
I know, man, I'm getting scared right now.
I know. I'm like, oh, fuck.
I'm checking over my shoulder and shit.
Oh, fuck, dude. And hopefully she can't tune into this fucking security camera. She's going to be like, fuck these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking lock the doors and lock them in so they can't get out.
All right, man. We're screwed then. It's over.
I know, watch, dude. We're going to see her. Next time, I'm lucky, dude. I don't have to come back until Friday. You have to come back tomorrow.
Well, I got a show after you.
Yeah, but she won't be here.
Okay, yeah.
She'll probably be here tomorrow. You got it.
Yeah.
She's like, I heard you on the Cannabis Couch.
Yeah, right.
Why you guys talking shit about me?
Oh, and this shit's being recorded too, so she's gonna
She
listen
can
to the
go back.
podcast. Yeah, we're
watch it.
screwed.
She's like, I got proof. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, right.
Fuck, can we delete the last 15 minutes of the show?
I'm telling you, man. No, we love Rachel here. She does an excellent job. She actually does a really good job.
No, she does.
Yeah.
She does a really good job. And she's a great engineer, like you two, because you can have a conversation with her. She's had a lot of shit happen in life.
Yeah,
and she's
exactly.
done a lot of stuff. So it's cool to have conversations with her and be able to do that. I like being able to have fucking cool engineers, because if you just sat back there and you were quiet, I'd pick on you the whole fucking show.
Yeah, I believe it.
I really would. I'd fuck with you the whole time, like, motherfucker, talk. Or I'm just gonna sit here and fuck with you the whole time.
Yeah, I know it's not good.
Yeah.
Well, when you got guests and shit, I let you do your thing, but
Yeah. No, I know. I feel you.
Yeah.
And Danny Boom and everything was in here, but yeah, no, when we're here by ourselves, it's fucking fun as shit. Just sit here and talk shit.
just bullshit.
All right, let's get back to cannabis. So
Hey.
I know we gotta do something.
You gonna talk about cannabis on a Cannabis Couch show?
Oh my God, I know we do, right?
That's unheard of.
Oh fuck. All right, so my favorite, and when it comes to old school hash, ironically enough, because it is an old school hash, is finger hash. It's still, people make it to this day. It's just the stuff you pull off your fingers or your gloves when you're trimming the weed.
Okay.
When you're holding the nug, you're spinning it around. All these trichomes are coming off on your fingers. And to me, it's pretty much like the oldest school hash there is, because that's how they figured it out. I'm sure, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this stuff's fucking bomb. How do we just get this off? You know, fuck the whole rest of this. We just want this awesome shit. And so, like, my favorite type of hash is actually finger hash. It does have a little bit of plant material in it, but the plant material that's in it's usually like really good shit. You know what I mean? 'Cause
What are you
it's
supposed
really
to do? Like
sticky.
lick your fingers or something?
No, you just rub it together,
Okay.
and it like balls up. And then, you know, you can just like put it on a piece of paper, and then this stuff's so awesome though. You just put it together and it presses together.
Ah.
You know what I mean? So you can just press it and press it and press it, and then just presses into a nice little ball, and then you take chunks off.
Like Play-Doh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Play-Doh. There you go.
Play-Doh cannabis.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
But you know, you sit there and you can play with it and stuff, and then it's like make little balls of it and whatnot. And you know, it's my favorite type of hash. I think it tastes the best because you have a little bit of the little bit more terpenes and stuff. I think too, because you have a little bit more of the pistolas and whatnot come off from the plant. I don't know, you don't know what pistolas are, but they're like a little where the seed is made.
Okay. So the pistolas are the petals.
No. Like there's a leaf and then there's a pistola, right? Where it's like a little seed pod where the seed is supposed to be made, and then hairs come out of there. Right?
Okay.
And so the little hairs you see on cannabis are coming out of the pistolas, and those hairs' jobs are to reach out and grab pollen and pull it back into that pistola or you know that little seed pod, and then it creates a seed inside of there.
Ah.
Right. But when you don't have that, all that, you know, that becomes a very potent part of the plant, because all those nutrients and all that stuff that would be there to produce the seed, you know, it has a lot of CBDs and THCs and stuff right in those pistolas, because that's what helps produce the seed, and then that's also injected into this, you know, a whole cellular, you know, biologic, you know, shit.
Yeah.
That I honestly don't understand when it gets down to that type of level, but I do know that, you know, that's where the seed's created, and then so when there isn't a seed there, it becomes real potent. And so that's usually the stuff that comes off, you know, when you're twirling around on your hands and going through the finger hash. And so that to me is my favorite. And my favorite thing to do with it is because a lot of people can't tell the difference. Now, when you load up hash and it looks like this, right?
All right.
People can tell, because obviously that does not look like marijuana.
No. From here, it just looked like a branch.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, just big brown fucking glob.
Yeah.
Well, if you put that in a bowl, everybody realizes it. So what I like to do with finger hash is, because it has a bunch of plant material and stuff in it, and so you can kind of get someone and put a little bit of plant material right on top and pack a big old bowl of finger hash and hand it to somebody and not tell them, oh my God, and watch the lightning, bro. It's fucking funny. I got this homie named DeAndre, lives out in Moreno Valley, and I met him probably 10 fucking years ago, and he's a down-ass motherfucker. And I was sitting out back, and I was taking bong tokes of finger hash, and he's like, what you smoking? That smells good. And I was like, oh, here, fucking take a bong toke. Fucking smiling the whole time, right? I'm like, hand it to him, like, here you go. Here's the torch. Why don't you take a bong toke? Go ahead. And the thing about this stuff is it becomes real dense. You know what I mean? It's real dense when it comes to THC. That's what hash is. It's just densified THC. And so when he hit this shit, it milked the whole bong up instantaneously. And then he pulled it and he took the whole hit and he looked at me and he's like, what the fuck's in that? My hands are on fire. My fucking feet are on fire. He's like, he had to like pick his feet up off the ground. He's like, what the fuck did you just give me? His body was like freaking out. And I was cracking up. I'm like, ah. So I showed him what it was. And he was like, that's fucking finger hash, you fucking asshole. He's like, why didn't you tell me? He's like, I thought it was weed. I was like, that's why I didn't tell you, because I knew you could handle it. You know, I won't do that if somebody can't handle it. I knew you could handle it. So I was like, I knew you could handle it. I just kind of want to watch what would happen. He's like, you're a dick. You've been sitting here taking bong tokes of this shit all day. I was like, yeah, but you had to get on my level. And now, one toke, you're on my fucking level, dude. That's it. Take some
Hey, you said he took a big one, huh?
Oh, dude, a big one, bro. Like, a fucking big one. I probably loaded 0.5 gram of fucking finger hash in that bitch, and he tried to burn through all of it. So, like, I know he didn't burn through all completely, but he tried. And when you give it a valiant effort, you get a valiant toke. He fucked himself up that day. Well, I should say I fucked him up. But
yeah,
finger hash is the shit. You know what I mean? The only thing I think is more potent, but to me doesn't necessarily taste as good, is like this stuff called ancient white hash. And it has to be made a very certain way. It's made with your hands and a very nice paintbrush and a certain temperatures and all this kind of BS that I really don't want to go into because kind of vowed never to give away those secrets.
Well, you got to use a paintbrush though. I mean, isn't it just you grow it? That's it.
No. See,
You got to do the
the
extra
way
shit.
the way you make ancient white hash, right, is I can talk a little bit because even if you try these steps I'm about to tell you, you're gonna fuck your shit up because there's many steps in between. I'm not gonna say,
Oh,
but so you tumble it right and you get real good hash powder, and then you refine that hash powder a little bit more. And once you refine it enough so you have the substance that you want, you're in enough of a cold room, and there's actually a certain temperature variance that you should be in. And when you're in that room, THC will stick to THC. Remember I mentioned before how you get your hand and you kind of rub it off, right? Well, what you do is you coat your hands, so your hands have a level of THC on them, but you have to again do it with a certain substance, a certain type of powder that you're creating. So then you kind of coat your hands with that. Generally, you only coat one. I coated my left, and when you touch the powder real lightly, you will get crystals that come off, and they basically kind of, it's almost like a magnet. They'll be drawn to the other THC.
Oh wow! Okay.
And then you get a really nice fine paintbrush, and you can brush it off your hand. And so you're taking little bits from here, and you're putting it over here. Now what you have left when you're done is still a good product, but it's not as good as this product you just refined.
Okay.
And so it's quite difficult to learn.
I say it takes a little bit of time there.
Oh yeah, you ruin a lot before you really figure out how to do it. And it's not necessarily that you're ruining it, it's just that you're not making the best product you could. Because you can still take all of it, and if you have to, mix it back together. It'll make great hash.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make this particular stuff. And then you take what I call, what we call number one, and you press that together again. And we would do a slight pressure heat press, which is it's two cold surfaces put together to create the pressure, and only the heat created from the pressure is the only heat used. So like now they're using rosin and they're pressing, and the plates themselves have heat, and then you create pressure, which creates more heat. And I think that's where people are getting their rosin things wrong, and they're not accounting for that. Is that when you have two plates that are 200 degrees and they come together and they smash something and they go ahead and smash that together. Well, that thing inside is now way more than 200 degrees because it's got heat built up from the pressure that you're creating as well. Mm-hmm. So you can overcook your rosin by giving it too much pressure with too much heat. But when you take the white hash and you press it together, it doesn't take very much. That's why you don't need a bunch of temperature. That's why you can only use the stuff from the actual pressure itself. You can actually take that and you throw it in the freezer, and when you break it apart, it's like this paper.
Okay.
It's this super, super white. It's super potent. It tastes really good, but the only thing is you can't smoke very much of it because it'll really fuck you up. Like it'll just make it so you just want to go to sleep.
So even more than the finger hash.
Yeah, it's a different effect though, because the finger hash sometimes is like more of an awakening thing. You can smoke finger hash and get up and kind of do your thing. If you smoke this ancient white hash, you might as well just fucking put on a movie
and be done.
Yeah, and just be done. Yeah, because like it's a different type of high, it's a different type of body high, it's a different type of head high, and the whole 9 yards. Like these different refined ways that are being lost are different types of highs. Like right now we have a lot of dabs, and those are super, super head highs, and like you feel it behind your eyes and everything, and you get really stoned, but you don't really feel it in your arms or legs or anything like that. And with the CBD dabs you do, but you don't feel it like you do if you would just smoke an old school hash, and you feel like this overwhelming sensation over your whole body, and it's
that's on one hit.
Yeah.
Damn.
One hit. One really little hit, like this. Like that.
Just like a little tiny.
Tiny. To the point where like I mean, if you put it on a ruler, it'd be like an eighth of an inch. You know what I mean? Just this little itty bitty thing, and then you put it in a pipe and you hit it, and it just, you blow out this gigantic smoke because it's so dense. It has so much packed in this little itty bitty thing. It's like an atom,
Yeah.
So it's got so much packed in there, and then when you hit it and it expands, you feel it expand all throughout your lungs. That's a lot of the things I think people have lost now. Like we can take big hits, and so we feel it in our lungs, but back in the day there was that stuff where you could just take these little hits, and then you felt it expand in your lungs. When you blew out this hit, you're like, holy crap, I took in this little bit, but this gigantic thing of smoke came out. And we need to not lose those art forms. Because to me, actually, that's better medicine than these dabs and everything. That can be used in a medicinal way. as well. Because if you have body pain and stuff, you smoke some old school hash, fuck, you're gonna feel great. If you take a dab, I don't know how that's gonna work out for you. You're probably still gonna have your body pain.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna be high, but you know, you're still gonna have body pain. And so that's why I prefer a little old school hash back every now and
Old
then.
school hash. That is right. And it's about that time. It's about that time.
About what time?
About
That
that
time.
time right there.
That time right there.
It's pizza time.
It's break time.
Yep.
All right, motherfuckers. You stay listening in. We come back. We're going to talk a little bit more about hash. We're going to talk about a little bit more about the ways to consume hash, everything like that. Stay tuned into the Chaotic Radio. We are the Cannabis Couch. We'll be right back, motherfuckers.
Come on, go wagon, and there she goes. la la, another weed song.
Oh, so where all my motherfucking potheads at? Well, you're obviously a fun-looking pothead if you listen to this motherfucking show. So thank you very much for tuning in to the Cannabis Couch here on Kaotic Radio. Today we're talking about old school hash, a little bit of no school hash as well, but I was trying to keep it focused more on the old school hash because I think some of those ways are being lost, and that's a real shame because I mean, shit, dude, that's where we came from. You know what I mean? Old school Thai stick. What you know about Thai stick, Mike?
I do not know.
You don't know about Thai stick?
I do not know. You know, us hippies, you know.
Yeah, well, that was back in the day. That Thai stick was like that hippie shit. It came from Thailand. It was all rolled up and it had some opium all over it and shit.
Oh, I must have fell off right when it happened.
Yeah, that wasn't your bag.
Yeah, you know.
No opium base for Mike.
no opium bay for me.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, but I like old school hash. You know what I mean? I think I honestly I prefer it over the new school shit. I dab now because I like the way that dabs make me feel. I can be productive in dab because it is kind of, you know, it is just THC. It's just real head high. So I can take a couple of dabs and do what I need to do. Although I thought I could take a couple dabs earlier and do what I need to do. I can shut up here. I was fucking stoned. I didn't need to do that. I guess I was a little bit, after you work out, have you ever noticed that, Mike? Like, you smoke cigarettes. So, like, after you work out, do you get, like, a little bit of a head change after you smoke a cigarette?
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
You know, yeah. So, like, I worked out, and then I fucking jumped in the shower, and after that, I took a couple bong tokes to come right here right afterwards, and I got fucked up. I was kind of, ooh. I don't like to be like that on the air, you know what I mean? I like to be able to conversate and do my thing.
And just be chill.
Yeah, I can get stoned as fuck, you know, right after the show. That's not a worries. It's not worries at all.
No worries at all.
But one thing I want to talk about right now is the consumption of hash. Really, it started in spliffs back in the day. People would, you know, like, they would roll up tobacco and sprinkle hash in there. That's what an old school spliff really was tobacco with hash in it and a little bit of weed sprinkled in here and there, but it was mostly tobacco. And then, you know, we moved on now since we have these awesome people that can blow glass and make these awesome glass pieces that have come up with hash bowls and whatnot for your bongs, and which is real cool because it's not a bowl at the very bottom of the piece, right? So it's like a bowl, and then throughout like the middle of the bowl, there's little holes, so the smoke gets drawn up, you know, around and back through again. That way, you know, you don't suck through the hash because that's normally what happens on a regular slide.
Okay.
Is you suck it all through. And so, like, you know, I like that the technology is coming far enough that, you know, now we have these different ways to consume hashish. We have different, you know, things of hashish, considering with the dabs, and there's many different types of dabs as well, the many different consistencies and textures of the dabs, from the butters to the shatters and crumbles. I know there's probably a couple other ones that I'm not even really thinking of. What do we got out there to fucking, you know, then you just got that sauce, I think, is now what
The
people...
sauce?
Yeah, the sauce is what people are in on now. It's like this terp sauce, and which is pretty good. I don't know if some of it gets me as high as I would like. Like, it just kind of puts me... You know, they're different highs, and so I don't know if sometimes if it puts me like where I want to be. I have kind of a real high tolerance, so I don't like to have to take too big of a dab. I'd rather have something that's potent, so I don't have to have a real big dab. You know, big dabs aren't good because they're just not good.
They're just not good because they're not good?
Yeah, they're just not good for you to take that much in. I see these people doing these big dab videos where they're doing, you know, like they're taking slabs, bro, I kid you not, like this size. And they're just putting them on these nails, and they're just burning them down, and taking, you know, like a quarter at a time. That's 7 grams, just so you know, at a time, in these big old dabs. And it's like, why? Like, it's just stupid because you can only your body can only intake so much.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Like, just like anything. And then just kind of write off everything else. And so, and with marijuana, cannabis or dabs or whatever consistency you want to have it in, you're just going to go to sleep. You know, and you know, you see a lot of these kids afterwards, you know, after these dab videos, these fools are probably passed out somewhere just because their bodies just had too much, and it's like, well, fuck it, we have to get rid of this stuff, and the best way to do it is to shut down, figure out what we just did to ourselves and readjust. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And,
shut down and reset like a computer or something.
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Because you can't just put that much stuff in there. Imagine like somebody trying to do that much heroin; they're gonna fucking die.
Right? Yeah.
You
exactly.
know, and so I think that's when you're consuming that much hash and that much THC at one time, it's just upping your tolerance. So the next time you just have to consume more, which is pretty stupid because that's just going to cost you more money. Or if you make it, it's just going to still cost you money because that's product you're not able to sell.
Yeah, same goes with alcohol too. If you drink a lot, it costs more money to drink more to get a buzz.
Right.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
exactly.
Or you got to go for the really cheap shit
yeah, to get more.
Yeah, and then what's the draw at that point? Like, you're putting a bunch of poison into your body, and that's the same thing with the BHO. If you're getting the cheap shit, it obviously wasn't done correctly. There's a difference again between cheap and inexpensive.
Is there a difference? What is the difference?
There's a big difference because, like, I know my friends, to show compassion and stuff. I know Greenery Depot. He hooks people up and he takes care of people. You know what I mean? If you don't have that much money, but he knows you really like his product and stuff, he'll take care of you. He'll sell it to you at a less expensive price, or as some people would say, a cheaper price.
Okay.
But to me, it's less expensive because the product he's giving you is the same quality, just an inexpensive price.
Okay, so when you say cheap, you mean product cheap wise, not money cheap wise.
Right. And even money cheap wise.
Okay.
Like
so,
when I say money cheap wise, I'm saying like you're cheap because you're not gonna spend that much more on it. And you're just gonna be like, oh well, there's that $10 gram of wax. Well, that stuff's crap. And you're gonna go out there and you're gonna buy 3 grams of it because it's $10, a gram, and you got $30, so you get 3 grams, and it can keep you high for a fucking week. But really, it's crap.
quantity over quality.
Yeah, but it's crap.
Yeah.
You can't have bad hash is just not a good thing because hash is supposed to be refined. It's supposed to be the better part of it. If you have bad hash, you might as well just turn around and go buy that flower because the flower is going to get you more stoned than the shitty hash does.
It just depends on what you're looking for, I guess.
Well, and that's people pay attention to their pocketbooks more.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that sucks because if you paid attention to what your body could, you would use less. You can buy a better product and use less, as opposed to buying a shittier product and using more.
That's a good example with gasoline. When you buy gasoline for your car, you buy cheap gas. It's not going to last as long. You don't have to keep filling up.
Exactly. I know that because I have to run 91.
Okay.
Right. So if I go fill up at Valero, I get the same. On the gas gauge, it goes to the same point. But my gas does go a lot faster. But then if I go to Shell or Mobil, yeah, I'm paying a little bit more, but my gas does last longer. And so, yeah, it's just those two draws. You know what I mean? Do you want to go always put cheap gas in, or do you want to put something that's going to make your car run better and more efficiently so you're not putting a strain on your motor so you have to use more fucking gas?
Yeah, you're right.
People don't realize that. You know what I mean?
No, they don't. They just look at the dollar sign.
Yeah.
Who got the cheap sign? I mean, you see it all the time. They do it on the radio or they do it on social media. They advertise who's got the cheapest gas at this time, and then they post that shit everywhere. And everybody's like, oh, okay, let's go over here and get the cheapest gas because it's the cheapest gas.
Right, and somebody needs to make the who's got the cheapest quality gas.
Yeah.
Because most of those people on the other app that have the cheapest gas, they won't even be on the cheapest quality gas.
See?
Because they don't have good gas. Yes, and I'll give you this, and I do know this for a fact, that all gasoline in the United States, when it gets to Shell or Mobil or Arco, AMPM, Valero, or whatever, fucking even Sunoco and all that stuff, it's all the same, right?
The barrels are the same.
Right. Until that manufacturer adds their own stuff. Okay, like, Chevron's got Techron. That's pretty much the only one I really know. Mobil One's got the Mobil One gas is their premium and things like that. And just because the additives that they put in it that make it better. Well, hashish is exactly the opposite.
It's the opposite.
Right.
Okay.
So when everybody gets it from their flower, it's basically the same, right? You can get 10 people the same shit, and you want them to use as little as possible to extract that stuff off. So you have some of these companies, okay, that are like, the mobile ones of the hash game that are adding all kinds of shit in order to extract the product. Well, that's not what you want. Like I said, it's exactly the opposite. So you don't want that. You want, in a sense, the hash game. You want the Valero guy that just takes the basic raw product and gives you the basic raw product.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want stuff added to it. I don't necessarily like when they come out with stuff and they're adding, all these other chemicals and make it taste good. And I don't care. If I wanted taste, I'll go smoke flower.
Yeah. Well, they add food. We can talk about food. Then they add preservatives all the time to it too, so it'll last longer, or for shipment, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
And that's adding chemicals and adding things like that.
Right. And people are doing that to hash. They're adding it to these butanes and stuff. They're adding these propylene glycols and whatnot in these pins in order to cut it and make it last longer. And when you make it, when you cut your product, I mean, everybody's probably done some cocaine in their life. Who wants cut cocaine? Nobody.
No.
Because it just doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, you can go get some good Peruvian flake, put a little bit on the tip of your finger and touch your gum with it, your whole fucking face is numb. Then you go get that shit from fucking East LA. It's cut with baby laxative. You basically got to use half the bag fucking up your nose to get, you know what I mean?
Right. I want to cook my own shit.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's the problem with all these people making this new school hash, is that they're leaving crap in it when that doesn't need to be happening. You know what I mean? Like, it's like any one of your drugs. You want them as pure as possible.
Of course, I love my pure drugs.
Gotta,
Yeah, you gotta have pure drugs, man.
I'm not, promoting drug use, but I mean, shit, dude, people out there, you want to get high. You're trying to get higher than the last time you got high, obviously, and so you want something that's good and whatnot. And there's a lot of people making new school poison, not new school hash. It's new school poison.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And that's a shame,
That's a shame. We should call them out and say, hey, we don't want that no poison shit.
Well, the cool thing is they won't be around next year.
Oh, see, there you go. Oh, well, yeah, because of the law and everything.
Yeah. They're not going to be around. And so, you have a lot of people going in for the gold rush right now. I know a lot of people that are trying to move weight and make a lot of slabs and stuff, only because I know they're not going to be around in a few, next year. Even if they do get a license, they're probably not the person that's going to be able to sustain it. They're going to end up selling their license or however they're going to, deal with it. I don't know if you're going to be able to get a license and sell it, or, what that will be. But
And that goes into effect, January 1st?
yeah, they're going to start issuing licenses. I think they said January 8th.
Okay.
Is when they're going to try to start the whole issuing process. But who knows, the issuing process could be when you are able to legally turn in your application for them to start to issue you one.
Yeah.
Because the one of the regulations they set up right now is that if you've been operating since 2016, and you've been operating in accordance with your state and county government, you will have a 6-month grace period to be able to stay open while your application is being reviewed. And so you'll be able to stay open from 1/2/2018 to 7/2/2018 without having any repercussions while you're under review.
Okay, and then at that point, what happens if you fail the review?
Shut down.
Shut down after. No questions asked.
No questions asked. When you get the paperwork and they tell you to shut down, I don't know how it's going to be. I'm assuming it's going to basically say your application was denied. You have this long to shut down, or this is the date and time you must be shut down by. You know what I mean? If they deliver it through the mail, of course, they're going to have to give you a date and time. Now, if they walk into your store and tell you your application was denied, you must shut down right now, then, you're going to have to shut down. I don't know their whole process is what it's going to be, but they're going to allow people to, apply for them, and then they're going to allow you the grace period to stay open in order to, operate and show that you're operating still within due bounds.
And so when you apply for them, it costs money. You have to pay a processing fee, right?
Oh,
so,
yeah.
of course, they'll allow anybody to apply.
Well,
they still get the money. There's no refunds.
Right. I think anybody can apply. Joe Schmo could just go apply, but then there's going to have to be reasons. You're going to have, it's a smart business decision if you're going to apply for one or not. Like, sure, Joe Schmo can, but if you haven't been in the cannabis industry for the last 5 fucking years or even know anything, why are they going to give you one?
To make that money, processing fees, and then they deny you after.
They could, well, no, but that's what I'm saying. Why would they give you a license? So why don't you just save yourself the money and not even apply in the first place? Because you're not going to get one. When you have all these guys that have millions of dollars and collectives that they've had open for all this time.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question then. How many people apply for credit cards they know they're not going to get, but they still apply and ruin their credit when they do that?
Well,
And people just don't learn.
they don't learn.
Yeah.
People don't learn. Tiger don't change its stripes.
Right?
But with the retail sales license that they're giving out, you're gonna be able to have 3 locations
Okay, with one license?
with 1 license. So I don't think they're gonna give out that many retail sales licenses necessarily in the beginning because they know these dudes aren't stupid. If you have like a licensed collective right now and it's running and it's up and going, right, and you know you're making money and your business is popping, and then you get a state license and it says, hey, you can now legally open 2 more fucking shops, you know they're gonna run out and be like, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, of course.
You know, let's open up shops. So we're going to use the license to its full extent because that's the most money. You've already paid for the license to get you 3 shops. You might as well use it. You know, and I'm sure there's actually going to be people too that own a collective. They can't afford to open 2 other shops, but they're going to get a license.
Mm-hmm.
Then they can be able to go to investors and be like, hey, I have a license that says we can open 2 more shops.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, and then things are going to roll that way as well.
That's true. That's true. Because once you've done all the paperwork, the footwork, whatever you want to call it, people are more willing to invest.
Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Once you've done the paperwork, and the cool thing about that at that point is that you don't have to tell people how much you've invested. You have something that they want, so you can be like, you know what? Nah, to buy in for 1 shop for 50% is $1 million, because that's actually, I mean, relatively going to be inexpensive because these shops are going to be worth a couple $1 million, a few $1 million in a couple of years because of how much they're just just turning product and everything like that. So, you know, that's going to be a big thing. Cannabis investment once all these licenses comes through, because, you know, I think it'd be a good idea, to be honest with you, if I was a fucking millionaire and I did own a fucking collective and I got fucking the thing to say, yeah, fucking open up 2 more shops. Hell yeah, I would. I'd go and partner so I could deal with mine and just rake money in from the other 2.
That's true. So yeah, let it self-sustaining business kind of thing.
Yeah, sell 49% of the other 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we sell 49%. Here, I sell you, Mike, 49%, and then I sell Joe Schmo 49% of the other ones. Here, you go run it. I'll just sit back and collect fucking checks.
And that's corporate America now. You're getting into corporate now.
But that's what's exactly going to happen to our industry.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
And if we don't realize that now, and if we don't start making those stances now, we're fucking lost it. And that's a real big thing I have. And we're going to have an actual whole show, and I'm going to have a few people in here that are kind of high level and talking about the fact that we have to all kind of come together and do this shit, because we're about to lose this motherfucker.
Well, who is your, I want to say competitor, but who you're going to lose it to?
Philip Morris, Johnson & Johnson, Monsanto.
Okay, so corporations.
The big boys.
Yeah, the big boys.
The big boys, dude. You know, I mean, Philip Morris is Marlboro cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so you ain't fucking with them, dude.
No, hell no. You can't touch big tobacco, man.
Yeah, you can't touch those dudes at all. You know what I mean? And they already own all this land, and they already own all these things. And like I've said before on the show, they're going to follow the rules to a T. Even if it means they lose a little bit of money on this aspect, they realize they're going to make a whole bunch of it over here.
Yeah.
And so they don't care if they have to invest 50, 60 grand into security systems and fucking, you know, doing the proper lighting. They don't care. They'll do it because they know they're going to be in this business for 25 years.
Yeah, they look at the long term.
Yes, they're looking this. You know, right now a lot of people are focused on, they're going, oh, the first 5 years there's not going to be any big business and big cannabis and stuff like that. But dude, understand that these guys are focused on that 5th year, and then they're focused on 20 years past that.
Yeah. See, some people, like you're talking about, they want that quick, get rich quick kind of thing. And it just doesn't work in this business.
Well, that's going to be gone in this business, because right now it's here. Right now, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, you could open up a fucking dispensary, not even tell the city what you're doing. Find some landlord that's willing to rent to you, fucking open up, start making money. You know what I mean? But that is,
and I missed out on this. Where the hell have I been at?
Yeah, you missed out.
God damn it.
And that's all going to be gone, you know, with these new regulations and that they're going to put into play, because everybody's going to have to be licensed. And if you open up and you're not licensed, you're going to jail.
Oh,
yeah, straight prison.
So there'll still be, well, I guess it would be with like kind of like a liquor license. If you don't have a liquor license, same thing.
Oh yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah, so yeah, same thing.
You get huge fines. You get, you know, sent to jail, and then same thing with like a liquor license. You get caught selling to somebody underage, they yank your license, they yank all your liquor sales. They'll fine you some gigantic amount. That's exactly what's going to happen with the cannabis industry.
Okay, so yeah, they're going that route.
Yeah. But everybody's got to get their money.
Right, right.
And I guess that's just the way it's working out. Everybody's going to get their money.
That's the way of the world, man. Everybody wants that dollar.
But we gotta come together in this industry here, because I don't want to lose my industry. I've been in this industry since I was 14 years old.
Come together. I wish I had that song loaded up, man. Damn it.
Come together.
Yeah, right.
But we do. Everybody does. We have to drop this animosity that we have towards each other and realize that, like, if you're a brand out there,
right now we're getting deep.
yeah, and if you're a brand out there, right, and you're not going to make it to the next level, because let's face it, 80%, probably 90% of the brands out there right now aren't going to make it. You don't have the money to fight the other guys to get the licensing and all that kind of BS, and because right now a lot of money's going to be thrown at it. The more money is thrown at the licensing, those people are going to get them.
Of course.
And a lot of people just don't have it. Even if you make a wonderful product, you just won't have the money to fight the big boys to get the licensings. And so, a lot of you guys aren't going to be around. And, that's a good thing for some of you guys, because let's face it, not every company out there is doing the best thing. But it's a bad ordeal for, about 80% of you guys out there that are doing the right thing. So, if you're not going to make it, start working with people that are. Give them your support as well, because, sure, get your money, do your hustle now. But in 2018, when it all changes, make sure that people out there know that they have your support when they go get their licensing and stuff, that you can go help them. You can go work for them and keep it in our industry.
Yeah, so just like start partnering up, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Big Pharma is going to come in, and they're going to walk into these people that have these businesses and be like, hey, check it out. How much money you make a year? You make $100,000 a year. Cool. I'll give you $150,000 a year. Come work for me.
And that's how it goes.
And that's how it goes. And I was just at the coffee shop where, like, these people are talking about, like, oh yeah, these guys are getting offered $100,000 a year, or $150,000 a year to go up there and blow wax for these guys all year, which I'm laughing my ass off, because I'm like, dude, they're paying them fucking pennies. They're thinking these kids are being blinded, being like, oh, here's $100,000. I'm sorry, kids, $100,000 is not a lot of fucking money.
Blinded by the figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys are going to make tens of millions of dollars. And if somebody's offering you $100,000 to go make wax for the year, like, here, we'll give you $100,000 salary. Add up how much wax you're going to make, add up how much the sales are going to be, and watch you end up with fucking pennies. Do not sell yourself short. If you know what you're doing in this game and somebody comes to you and offers you a job, don't fucking sell yourself short. Because the first guy, sure, the first guy, he's going to take it and he's going to walk. And he's going to get $100,000. But if you sell yourself fucking short, you did nothing but a disservice.
Yeah.
Everybody has a price, and people generally accept a lot less than what they think they're worth.
Well, they do that all the time when companies buy up other companies. They'll offer them, $10 million, $20 million, and the kids that are creating these apps and stuff, they'll take it. Oh, here's a perfect example. The guy that made Angry Birds, Angry Birds, right?
Yeah, Angry Birds, yeah.
They offered him a shit money, and he took it because he thought it was a lot. And how much money did they make on that game?
Oh, and the movie?
Yeah, and the movie, and the toys, and the stuffed animals, and all the shit.
Oh, 10s, 20s, 30s of millions of dollars.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Just so much money. And yeah, what he I think I did remember, he got like $5 million.
Something, yeah. It was like a
nothing.
fraction of what they made off of it.
Yeah, nothing. And that's what, they just blind you by these figures that they're going to give you. If somebody came to me and said, well, I'm going to give you $100,000 to make wax, I'd look at them and tell them, if you can offer me $100,000 right off the bat, you can pay me $2.
Right. Yeah, you have to negotiate. You have to know, you have to question yourself, question why they're offering what they're offering.
Yeah. Why are you offering me this much? How much money are you going to make off of me while offering me this?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because you're the tool. Understand that. These big pharma motherfuckers coming in, they don't know how to do this, guys. They don't know how to make good wax, per se. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, in a couple of years, they'll figure it out once they go through all the same shit you've been through. But they don't know how to do this right now. So if they're coming to you offering you $100,000, remember, they don't know how to do it. You are the worker. You are the tool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And a tool has a very, 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 very valuable thing. So don't sell yourself short and being like, oh, you know what? I'm going to take that $100,000. Well, I take $100,000 for the first year. Cool. While the business is starting up. But no, in the contract, I want $200,000 the next year. and then I want profit sharing the third year.
Say, you got to put that profit sharing in there.
You know what I mean? Because if I'm going to make you all this money and we're going to build up this company, then I want to be able to, buy an island when I'm fucking done with this too.
Right.
And that's where I think kids aren't going to do it. None of these kids understand this business aspect. They know how to make great wax. They know the cannabis industry, but they don't understand the business aspect behind it all. And they're all going to get sold short and get used like little fucking bitches. And I don't want to see that happen in my industry at all.
Nah, yeah, you got to preach, man. You got to tell them.
These dudes, you guys know what's up, man. So don't sell yourself short, boys. I know a lot of companies out there are offering $100,000, $150,000 salaries. Well, if they can afford to pay you that, they can also afford to pay you more. Remember, the CEO is probably driving around in a car that costs that much.
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybachs are, what, $250,000?
The watch he's wearing probably cost that much.
The watch he's wearing, right. You know what I mean? His house is 4 or 5 times that fucking much.
Right.
So, no, don't fucking sit there and take, 4 or 5, I'm sorry, that's only 500,000.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 10 or 20,000.
Hey, you need a calculator over there?
10 or 20 times more, you know what I mean?
At least.
Like, just don't sell yourself short. If people want to offer you money, they're going to offer you more money. You obviously are doing something right if they're knocking on your door. So don't say profit sharing. Remember that word, kids.
Profit sharing.
Profit sharing. If they're going to offer you $100,000, tell them, you right, you offer me $100,000, but I want 5% profit share.
What about
Watch them
stock
motherfuckers.
options and shit?
Yeah, well, no. See, we can't be traded on public. We're not traded on public.
Oh, you're not traded?
Yeah, so we can't be traded because it's all federally legal still. So we can't be traded on the open market. Stock options don't exist yet.
Ah.
But profit sharing does exist because as long as the company's making money, your ass is making money.
Right.
I take I'll tell you what. I'll take a base salary of $100,000. You give me profit sharing of 7%.
7%.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a big number, but it is when you look at the figures.
Yeah. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
it's a
at the end of the
huge
day.
number.
Yeah.
It's millions and millions of dollars. If they're making fucking $100 million, you just made 70. Or no,
700,000.
$700,000.
Yeah, 700 grand.
$700,000.
Yeah, but see, that's where business comes in. That's where marketing comes in. That's where all the stuff. Where, like you just said, they don't know the business aspect. They just know the product.
Right.
If somebody goes to you and say, "Hey, I'll give you 7%," they're gonna want 30%, and they have no idea that 7% $700,000.
It's a shit ton of money.
A shit ton of money.
And you're
more
gonna
than
get
100 grand, isn't
and
it?
it's a residual income.
Exactly.
It's not you're gonna get $100,000 a year plus your other $700,000 a year, and you never know. They might, and if they're fucking filing quarterly, you could get fucking a $300,000 check every fucking quarter.
Right. Well, not to mention, even if they make twice that money the next year, you're getting 1.4 million the next year.
Exactly.
Yeah. Compound interest, my friend.
But again, the best part is it's all written off as bonus.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? It's not actual intake money, which it does suck because you get taxed the fuck out of it. But fuck, kids,
But
get
still,
some business,
tax on 1.4 is a hell of a lot better than being taxed on 100 grand.
dude. If I'm ever getting taxed at $1.4 million, I'm not gonna cry.
Right? That's what I'm saying. 'Cause
I'm
you're
like,
still
what?
getting a
I'm-
chunk of change.
Yeah, you're getting a fucking nice chunk of change. I don't care. I don't care if I get taxed at 1.4. What you're gonna walk with like $700,000
I'm still good to go.
cash.
Right?
I could survive very comfortably. My kids can go to Harvard on $700,000.
You can't buy that island, but it's all right, though. At least you live
I can rent that motherfucker.
You're renting an island. How much do islands go for these days?
I can rent a big ass compound on that motherfucker. I can
Right.
rent half of it. You know what I mean? Be like Pablo or what was that? The Boston George's fucking partner. He went and bought that whole fucking island, bought the government, bought everything. So that way, when somebody tried to come fuck with him, he was like, "Fuck you, I own the government."
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. That's what I would want to have an island for, dude. You own an island, you're your own fucking government.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
yeah. It's like
Make your own damn rules.
yeah, people come invade you. You're like, wait a minute, you can't do this. Sovereign nation, motherfucker.
Right. Tell them.
Well, if I ever have that money to have rich people problems,
yeah, rich people
to
problems.
have rich
I
people
can't
problems.
stand rich people complaining about bullshit. I can't stand rich people complaining about bullshit.
Man, it's like I heard. I've been in Hollywood all the fucking weekend, right? And so I heard this guy. He was like, "They parked my fucking Rolls Royce like 4 rows back."
Oh, goddamn, poor thing.
Oh my god!
Yeah, we go cry about it.
But you want to know what's funny?
He probably tweeted about it and got everybody. Oh,
He
you
probably
poor
did.
thing,
But you
poor
want to know what's
thing."
funny? I'm standing out there, bro, and I look over, dude. There's like probably 20 luxury cars that are worth just as much as his in between his and there. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Like, there's another Rolls Royce. There's a fucking Lambo. There was a fucking Bentley GT sitting there. I'm like, dude, you're worried about your shit?
Well, you know the valet is gonna pull it up next to you anyway, so who cares?
The fuck you worried about,
Yeah,
right?
who cares?
Yeah,
The
he didn't
valet's the
park
one that
his
got to
shit.
walk over there, not you.
And I was just like, man, you're just so arrogant that you think because you have a Rolls Royce that you should be parked up front. Motherfucker, I don't care if you drive a Pinto, bitch. You got here when you got here.
Right, right.
The fuck you get special treatment because you spent that much money in a car. You should be smacked upside the head because you spent that much money on a fucking car.
That's what
There's
I'm
a starving
talking
kid down the street. Literally, there was probably a starving kid down the street and you spent $200,000 in a car. Fuck you.
about. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
it's all bullshit.
Yeah, it is all bullshit.
I can't stand. I mean, that's what reality TV is, man. Rich people crying about shit.
Yeah, seriously,
That's what
man.
it is.
These new housewives of this and that and fuck all cities. It's like, man, these are just a bunch of pampered ass bitches sitting around talking about how they had to suck their man's dick in order to get their fucking titties done.
Yeah, how hard their life is.
Oh my God, bitch. Your life is so hard you have to go eat a fucking $50 fucking plate brunch and while wearing your fucking $3,000 shirt or
Right.
whatever. Like, you fucking kidding me.
Yeah, it's too much. Dude.
Switch
It's too
places
much.
with me for one day and watch that bitch be like, oh my God.
Oh, they won't even know what to do with themselves, man. They gotta eat a Taco Bell and shit. They're like, oh my God.
Shit. I don't
Right?
eat Taco Bell, but yeah.
Well, you know, they get fucking pizza and shit.
Hey, dude, that pizza was good.
That pizza was damn good.
That pizza was
Shout out to
good.
Mr. Pizza Man that
Shout outs.
was in our stream just
Yeah,
short
yeah.
ago.
Shout out Pizza Man. If you watch our stream, he was on there. Good dude. Good dude.
Yeah.
Next time we order pizza, you know that motherfucker's like, I'm coming back.
He gonna come back, dude. He probably sit up on a mic next time. Watch.
Hey, that's what's up.
That's what's up.
We just got to get black tape and cover up where he's from.
Right? Just put it over.
I don't want him to get fired.
No, I know.
He was a cool kid. I don't want to get him fired for coming on
Yeah,
the
he's
Cannabis
good. We
Couch.
gave him a nice tip, so he's good.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He was stoked. We were shouting him out on the radio. He's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, he was pumped, dude. He was pumped. All right, so you ready to get up out of here?
Yeah, let's get up out of here, man. Dutchie's going to fire up his barbecue. Let's have a good old time.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Well, we are the Cannabis Couch. This is Chaotic motherfucking radio. Thank you for tuning in with us today on this lovely motherfucking Monday. We are brought to you by the TerpHouse and, as always, cheapest hydro. So why don't you give them a shout out there on the internet. Go check them out. They got the TerpHouse.com and cheapesthydro.com. This is Shay C. I will see you guys back here Friday at 5. Have a good fucking week, everyone.
Homeboy come up to me right